So I was asked recently how I made the Castle Assault video. So this is just a bit of an explanation, kind of a recreation. I didn't keep the original component. The vast majority of the bits were made of paper. A couple of exceptions was the barbecue skewer for the catapult, and also originally this pivot on the catapult was a bit of plasticine, just because it gave something kind of physical to anchor the barbecue skewer into. So here I've taped everything down. Something I find definitely with ADHD, I nudge everything that I can nudge. You'll notice the camera is moving. It is on a tripod, but I can still cause problems with that. Leave a bit of space at the top of the castle, really just to fit the moon behind. Basically stop motion, if you don't know, you literally just move a tiny amount each time and take a picture. There's software that you can use. I do use Stop Motion Studio. You can also just use Aardman's Animator app on your phone. So I've used both of those. I think I used the Aardman one for this. So yeah, bit by bit, and you have to experiment really to see how much you want to move it, because that'll affect kind of how smooth it looks and things like that. So just to say something about the eyes, drawn on a computer, printed out, cut out, in various stages of blinking, as you can see. And basically when I wanted the moon to blink, I just swapped out the different eyes. You can use a thing called onion skinning. Most animation software has that, so you can kind of see where the last image was, so you can hopefully line things up. But as I always say, ADHD, it's always a bit of a challenge. Sometimes I do it better than others. So you've just got to decide really about how quickly you want it to blink, how often you want it to blink. I think on the original video I had the moon coming up with its eyes closed, and it was only the first time it got hit by the stone that it actually opened its eyes and then blinked as if to say what was going on. Also, I would just mention that the eyebrows were added just for a bit of facial expression, and they were also done in a Word document, if I'm honest, and printed out and cut up. One thing you find a bit of a challenge if you're taking images off the internet is obviously to look at things like copyright issues, licenses, things like that. Sometimes you're expected to pay for things. Sometimes they're available for free, or you can credit the creator. So obviously you need to check into that. The stone was separate, again just paper, and I just kind of tucked it behind. I've not glued all that together, so I'm not showing you here, but basically glued it all in place and then kind of positioned it behind the basket so that it was whole when it would come out, but obviously to begin with it's only partly visible. And then really it was a case of gradually moving it around. It's not historically accurate. I have absolutely no idea at what point the stone would actually be released from the basket. Again, it's just a case of doing something that looks reasonably plausible. One thing I will say that you'll notice in the video, the original video, is that I had to do things separately. I was shooting it all in a light box, and the reason why I shoot it in a light box is to try and get consistent lighting. When you make an animation, stop motion animation, it can take a while, and the natural lighting in the room that you're in is likely to change. So unless you've got things like blackout blinds on the windows, you're gonna struggle to kind of control the lighting. That's why I do it in a light box. On the original one, I did it in a small light box, so I didn't have a lot of space. So I shot all of the castle scenes together, and then I cleared that away, and I shot all of the catapult scenes together. And then in between, to try and show there's a bit of a distance, I did a shot where it was just the stone kind of flying overhead. In the edited version, I put the bat in there just so, because I'd had the bat at the beginning, had the bat at the end, and I just wanted to link it together by putting the bat in the middle. And then I edited them together in editing software so that I could kind of get it in the sequence. So it does take a bit of planning. Hope that helps. Any other questions, drop them in the comments. Thanks.